Vehicles of War and Peace, Saint-Chamond tank. Gameplay included from Battlefield 1. Please like and subscribe, hit the bell icon, and enjoy. The Saint-Chamond was the second French tank to enter service during the First World War, with 400 manufactured from April 1917 to July 1918. Although not a tank by a strict definition of a heavily armored, turreted vehicle, it is generally accepted and described as such in accounts of early tank development. It takes its name from the commune of Saint-Chamond, where its manufacturers were based. Born of a commercial rivalry existing with the makers of the Schneider CA-1 tank, the Saint-Chamond was an underpowered and fundamentally inadequate design. Its principal weakness was its Holt Caterpillar tracks. They were much too short in relation to the vehicle's length and weight of 23 tons. Later models attempted to rectify some of the tank's original flaws by installing wider and stronger track shoes, thicker frontal armor, and a more effective 75mm MLE 1897 field gun. Altogether, 400 Saint-Chamond tanks were built, including 48 unarmed Cassian tanks. The Saint-Chamond tanks remained engaged in various actions until October 1918, belatedly becoming more effective since combat had moved out of the trenches and onto open ground. Eventually, the Saint-Chamond tanks were scheduled to be entirely replaced by imported British heavy tanks. Their first action as a fighting vehicle took place at La Faux Mill on May 5, 1917. 16 Saint-Chamond tanks were engaged there, several of them getting stuck in trenches, but only 3 were destroyed in combat. During the rest of the war, 12 groups in total were formed with Saint-Chamond tanks. Since combat had left the trenches for open fields, it was used to engage German field gun batteries at a distance with its 75mm cannon. The Saint-Chamond proved that at last quite effective in this specialist assault gun role. The Saint-Chamond's final engagement in battle with initially 16 tanks took place in early October 1918 in support of the U.S. 1st Division near Mount Faucon. After the war, 54 were rebuilt as ammunition carriers. The remainder were largely scrapped. However, at least one Saint-Chamond tank retained as a memorial. There was one at Versailles from 1919 to 1940 when the Germans presumably scrapped it along with other tanks on display. There are unsubstantiated stories about Poland using the tank against the Red Army in 1920. These specimens were in all probability not from the Soviet Army, as the latter never had been supplied with them, and the French expeditionary forces to Russia were only equipped with the Renault FT. the last Saint-Chamond tank remaining in existence, an improved mid-1918 model alongside other French tanks of World War I, is preserved, forgive me if I mispronounce this, the Namw des Blinds at Saint-Chamond. It had survived alongside a Snyder CA-1 tank of the same vintage at the Aberdeen Proving Grounds Ordnance Museum in Maryland, US of A, and was donated by the US to the French government in 1987. Between 2015 and 2017, it was restored to running condition and repainted in a World War I camouflage scheme at a cost of 120,000 euros. It took part in various displays throughout 2017 to mark the first use of tanks by the French Army. A full-size replica in polystyrene foam, built by students of the Le Corbusier at Turinco, is on display outdoors at the Historio de la Grande Rue Museum Peron, France. Sorry if I butcher that as well. A full-size replica in 2022, film All Quiet on the Western Front shows several Saint-Chamond tanks attacking a German trench line. The film used practical replicas based on a BMP-1 chassis. This is especially obvious since the tracks are visibly different from those of period-correct Saint-Chamond tanks. And as you're currently viewing this gameplay in the background, this is from Battlefield 1, featuring the Saint-Chamond tank, made by DICE Studios and EA Games, under the abbreviation ST for Saint-Chamond.
Over there, an enemy scout! Enemy medic!
Thanks for watching.